As a native Dane, I have to talk about Greenland, so here we go. The reason we have this problem with Greenland is because the West have destroyed itself. The West have become a weak civilization that have destroyed itself by socialism and wokeism. That means that we are no longer in charge of the world. That means there's a new world order coming. And that means that the United States now realize they can no longer guarantee everybody else's safety, and they need to start focusing on guaranteeing safety of their own people. They do that by controlling the Americas. North America, South America. Greenland is super close to North America. It's an island where enemies, that is Russia and China, can stage an attack onto the mainland. So that's the reason why we have this situation. Greenland is a colony of Denmark. In the 1800s and early 1900s, the Western empires, they spread around the world, occupied nations, and they took those nations and lifted them up by subsidizing them and developing them, but also making money from owning it. When the United States won the Second World War, they demanded that all the European powers, they got rid of their colonies. So it's the Americans that changed the world order and told all the Europeans to set their colonies free. They did that in the name of liberty. If that's the right decision or not, that's a discussion for another day. But Denmark, they kept on to Greenland for all those years, and they still have it. All those years since the Second World War up until now, the average middle class in Denmark have been subsidizing its colony. They've been pumping money up there. They've been pumping around $500 million at least a year to keep the island afloat up there. So it's been a gigantic disaster for the middle class in Denmark to have that colony of Greenland. Of course, the elite, they love it. And they brainwash the people into love it as well. But how can you love something that's far away and that is a colony that you pump money into? You have no benefit from owning it. There's much more benefit to get rid of this. And for Denmark now, they have a golden opportunity to make money from getting out of the pinch of Greenland. All other European colonial powers, they got nothing. If the Danes, they refuse to do a deal with Trump, he might move on it, he might not. But it's basically immaterial, because if Trump doesn't move on it, the Chinese will, or the Russians will. The happy days from 1945 till now, those are over. So Greenland is gonna fall into the hands of a major power. And you can tie this into the wokeness movement. So the last 50 years have been one big woke movement after the next, meaning that you would value signal something, even you knew it was wrong. Let's say you import hundreds of millions of Muslims to Europe. A lot of people, they knew that probably not going to work, but they did it because they didn't want to be called racist. At the same time, in the West, we fired a lot of men from positions to give them to immigrants or to women just because it felt good. The woke movement, where you go against what's rational and what's fair just to value signal, it's the same as play here. When you look at the Danish politicians now, what they do, they say it's up to the people of Greenland to decide what they want to do. No, it's not. The Denmark middle class have been pumping money into that place for 75 years. The Danish middle class, they need some of that money back. And now is the time. It's the time to demand that we get the money. The Denmark people get the money. To tie it up, what we need to do in the olden days, 100 years ago, 80 years ago, politics was a business. You represented your people like a business leader. You went out into the world, you made deals to benefit your own middle class. That was the role of a government and a king. The last 75 years, the rule of the government have been to signal wokeism and good intention, being a soft-heart liberal, basically. But the future for Greenland is settled. Denmark is not going to own it anymore. And the Greenland population of 50,000 people or whatever, they don't have a say in it. It's time for the Denmark middle class to get paid for all their sweat and hard effort through the years. And it's the responsibility of the government to take the interest of its people at heart. For the Denmark middle class, it's not just about money, it's about safety. Could you imagine if the Denmark middle class now signed Greenland away to America for a 50-year safety guarantee? In this coming world we are facing now, it's going to be chaos after chaos after chaos. Could you imagine having a signed agreement with the Americans to take care of and even pay for Danish defense against Russia or against whatever might happen? It is the best move I've seen maybe in 1,000 years for a Danish government. They have to do it.